been sorted, so we should be jumping straight back into game again.
Now that is the kind of efficiency you watch NLC for. None of these LEC 30-minute long pauses. We're right back into the action.
Yeah, so we've every single player in the NLC does actually have a mountain of keyboards and mice and headphones stacked up next to them. So if they need a new one, they can just sub it back in. I'm pretty sure that's true.
I mean, if I had mice in my kitchen, I wouldn't be able to be here anymore. But the Ezreal Karma, they've gotten level 2 over the level 1 Chrisberg and Touch. They will end up getting their levels, but they'll get them under tower, which means, as we all know, the next waves, they're going to be moving back in. By getting the level 2.
There's a lot of damage. Oh, well expected. Flashing away, getting the shield right at the end. Crikey, that was a little bit too close for comfort as Flawed has now been caught out. Ploxy flashing forward to get the stun. The flash response from the monkey may just be enough. Luca, low on mana, cannot chase further forward.
So getting the level 2 crash on bots the way that they did, some might say is too early, but because of that, you were talking about the 2 junglers pathing top to bot. There was no way for Sejuani to enter a bot side jungle there because Karma and Ezreal could just leave the wave, join their jungler, invade, do something mid. So what does Ploxy do? He immediately pivots to mid lane, immediately makes the play on the Victor. They can't chase fully into bot side to execute the Wukong because the Karma and Ezreal can still join. But that was a really good response by Ploxy to the early play from Remix and Balu.
And I tell you what, for Nativz, denying that entry of Ploxy into the bot side is brilliant because they're winning that lane right now. They're already a wave up in terms of CS, and Chrisberg and Touch haven't really been able to contest them too much as Spudo going for a very decent trade onto Lingui. But this is kind of what the Gragas wants, right? You just sit in lane, you take a load of damages, hold on Luca, forced to knock back Flawed as potentially getting aggressed on in the mid lane. But yeah, no one dying.
Yeah, no deaths, but he also has no mana and very low HP. Depending on where the wave is there, if it's good for him to recall, this can be fine. But if it's not, if Victor's actually able to get the freeze there due to Flawed's aggression, he's going to lose so much. He's at least going to have to burn the TP. But he could be very behind on economy. Spuda, I mean, he's aware, but no minions are about to die for him, so there's no reason for him to step up. Gragas, kind of chilling here, right? He's not really a wave ahead, guys. Like, right now it says 8 CS, but just count the amount of CS there that Spuda hasn't taken, and always add that mentally, right? Spuda's going to collect all of that. He's still ahead.
I really like that from Spuda, just sort of like playing a little bit further back, recognizing that walking up to that lane was something that you don't need to do. And it very much feels like someone who has been forced to play weak side for the first 2 weeks on these tanks, on these Cassantes, not getting help for his jungler, going, I'm probably going to get gagged at some point. I'm not going to go over aggressive. And on a scaling pick like the Jax, dying in lane, something you don't want to do. You want to be getting as much access to golden XP as possible because gaining levels on this champ are so OP.
Yeah, when it comes to this NLC split especially, this is just another day in the office for Spuda, and we talk about levels. Spuda's wave topside isn't really that good, and Flawed is actually on the bot side of the map right now. Really interesting that Spuda's just kind of winking there. Okay, yeah, he is going to eventually teleport. I guess he was just waiting on gold for another item component, but he has lost minions while he's been doing this wait. He's actually 3 minions down from that, which means Gragas is probably going to hit level 6 before him. So interesting to see if Sejuani plays on that. See, 6 before Spuda. Spuda has to back off here. Gragas looks like he's just going to use this to crash the wave in. So interesting to see if he does anything with that. Potentially a move towards mid versus the Victor with no flash is something that Gragas could try to do.
Absolutely, and you're seeing Lingui cheating down, just trying to get a little bit of vision in the top side of Nativz jungle. But mid lane has kind of been where a lot of the action has been. We've seen Ploxy and Flawed both make moves towards that already a couple of times. That as this wave is being stacked up and pushed in, could be looking at a potential dive. Chrisberg trying to trade some damage before as the exhaust is dropped. The cleanse comes out as well. Remix on 100 HP, and if Flawed is going to be looking for a kill, it is rough. Very aggressive trading by the Vanir bot lane keeps them alive.
Mid. Look at mid lane though. The whole time this has happened, Gragas has made the move we predicted that was going to happen, right? He got the level 6 first on top. He got the crash in. Immediately goes to make a dive on unexpected, right? Appropriate name. So you ended up having a play happening on mid by Vanir and a bot play happening by Nativz. Neither actually succeed. Neither even get summoner spells, but both teams, they're looking to do moves. Whichever team gets the execution off first, they're the team that's going to get it. You can see the options that both teams have in these early phases of the game. But still kind of surprising to me, right? There is a bit of opposite day going on here. We would have expected Vanir to be the ones making the play towards bot, and Nativz to be the ones making the plays towards solar lanes, but it's been Vanir, right, making the plays with and to the solar lanes, and Nativz making the plays towards the bot side. Very interesting. They're both essentially trying to counter each other's win conditions rather than play through their own.
We'll have to see if that ends up being an effective strategy. And I think the really interesting thing is how much time Lingui invested into that mid lane sort of gank attempt. Didn't really result in much. That meant that Spooder was able to shove in the wave and get a tower plate. But Gragas is absolutely fine to just chill in the lane, but Vanir are like, no, we're going to try and accelerate the map, even if it leaves us with the potential of this Jax getting very, very scary later on. And the fact that we're sat here 8 minutes into the game, minor gold lead for Nativz coming just from those CS advantages in lane, I think they're feeling very, very happy about the current game state.
Looks to me like Sejuani was attempting to maybe go over the... No, okay, so that was me thinking she's going to go over the Herald Pit to make a play on the Jax, but actually we're just going straight for this neutral objective on top side. This has to be something that you drop on bot. Maybe you could drop it on mid lane, but that Lucian needs to get ahead. The Ezreal and the Karma, they get this half roam over. Ooh. They know they're going to be too late for the Herald, so they go straight back bot, but they're in control. They are the guys that had the roam timing, and that's partly because of Ezreal's build path that they've had, that he's been able to have this game due to their moves. We were talking about how if he ends up with like a Sheen and a Tear, it's really bad. He actually went double longsword into the Tear and then bought a Sheen, which is really, really good with Sheen's ratios, and tells you immediately this is a guy who's looking to fight, right? He doesn't want to give up this lane. Balu and Remix are not going to allow Chrisberg and Touch to roll over them. Like Chrisberg and Touch have rolled over others, this could be a dent in Chrisberg's CS at 15. And now Nativz, they get the bot side objective, while Vanir gets the top side objective, and Vanir are the ones diving top.
Oh, Spooder has already used the counter-strike. The belly bot misses from Lingui, and with that ultimate, Spooder's just going for a little bit of a 1v2. It's not going to happen, as first blood is secured by the Gragas. Unexpected, trying to do a little bit of damage back, but not able to make it stick, so Vanir striking first.
Vanir, though, they're getting the early lead. I would say this is good for my predictions versus yours, but, like, let's be real. Vanir have difficulty translating this into the eventual game win, but it's opposite day on my screen, right? Vanir make the plays happen on top. They make the dives happen on top against the Jax, not the Jax against the Gragas. And meanwhile on bot lane, right, Nativz again trying to make things happen through the Ezreal Karma versus the Lucian Nami. These two teams have downloaded each other's win conditions and are playing to those rather than to their own. The first guys to make it work is Vanir, but I really wonder what happens when Vanir decide, why don't we just play Famine top and dive bot? And Nativz decide, you know what? Spooder is on a carry this time, and he is good on those. But, you know, we've got 5 more minutes to see that kind of a thing happen. I'm interested there. Lingui still having a level advantage over Spooder and still very, very safe.
Yeah, and this is traditionally the part of the game that Vanir haven't struggled in. Right, it's sort of come around the 18-20 minute when they've maybe taken a couple of fights they shouldn't, or contested an objective in a way which wasn't optimal, which has really sort of bit them in the arse fundamentally, and means that they are sat at this 1-3 scoreline and haven't got a couple more W's in that column. It's been a fairly quiet start to this game, Veteran. Do you think that Nativz need to be sweating a little bit, or are they still absolutely fine?
Well, there's only one goal, but both teams have been swinging at the posts on almost every rotation. You have another setup here against the Victor, but look, the Karma from Balu is going here in response. And this is almost a 4-4-5 setup play that we've seen from Vanir, almost a 4-4-5 response we've seen from Nativz. I feel like this has actually been a very active game from both teams. It's just that they're all just a couple of seconds off on execution, right? But eventually when they make it work, the game will explode. Ooh. He's not getting that today, is he?
It's quite unfortunate. No chicken for the Mankeys.
No.
Oh, Lingui might be looking for a dive here. Spooder is very, very low. This is an AP Gragas. That body slam is going to do a lot of damage. Spooder looking for the stun under the tower, and he's not going to get it. Another kill for Vanir in the top lane.
Yep, they couldn't make the playoff on mid because, honestly, Unexpected leans away. He has a very good read on every play that's happened towards midsection. But, you know, they got information on where Flawed was over those Raptors, and they realized that they could make it topside. Gragas goes very aggressive, knowing his team can be there first, and they're able to pick up a kill on the Jace. That's a really big deal, but, you know, it's all 2v2 on bot lane.
Brilliant knock up onto Remix, is able to just about dash away. Very, very close stuff, and whilst health bars are blinking in the top lane, Vanir were able to take that entire tower.
Everything I know about League of Legends is incorrect. The Ezreal Karma lane is absolutely destroying the Lucian Nami lane. The solo lanes for Vanir, however, are really far ahead. Spooder is on a famine champion. At the very least, he's starving. Remains to be seen where this goes now, but you've unlocked the Gragas, and that's a very useful Gragas, and he's just not letting Flawed get anything from this bot lane 2v2.
He's had to flash, he's had to ult. Lingui he's getting active. This is reminding me of AP jungle Gragas, where you could just go over all and half hit the opposing jungler. This is going to give Spooder a bit of time top lane, but look on the minimap. Luca rotating through to collect the wave, and Lingui moving into mid lane. Very smart map movements from Vanir so that they can pick up all the golden XP that they can.
I mean, if Spooder's starving, it's because big man Lingui has been taking all his food, and he's grown big and strong off of that. Very few people on the map can take him right now. A Gragas in this state, especially once he finishes his first item, he's going to spike so hard that, you know, Victor has to be wary of being removed from the fight from him. I'm wondering how Balu responds to Gragas' freedom on the map, because sure, your bot lane's been getting these advantages, but what's going to matter with those advantages is if they can translate that the same way that we've already seen Lingui translate that with Gragas.
Will be quite intriguing to see. Maybe we see some moves towards the objectives. There is a little bit of an opportunity for Remix and Baloo to get some damage down onto this tower, but with the Gale Force completed for Chrisberg, Touch very, very close to the Imperial Mandate as well. This duo is almost at the point where they are reaching maximal effectiveness.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, I like this Essence Weaver first build. I'm wondering if this is a viable game, given that you're only really against the Sejuani Gragas, for him to just go into the Prowler's Claw full one-shot build on the Ezreal, in which case, you know, you're looking at 1.5 more items before Remix is an absolute monster on the field. Lucian's already kind of beyond the pale here, especially once Baron contests start being a big deal. And look how much they're struggling to take on them now. But Chrisberg, mechanics.
There's a lot of damage being thrown down in the bottom lane. It's actually Vanir who come out on top. Hello, Bloxy is coming from your own jungle. That's not what you expected. That's a good flash from Remix to get away. And now the Sejuani is locked in a 1v3. Baloo somehow falls down for a snipe from downtown, ending in a 1-for-1.
Everybody is bot lane here, with the exception of the two top laners. Vanir were ahead there, so all Gragas had to do was make sure the Jax can't come in, make sure the Jax can't get a kill or something. So you actually had Lingui go very aggressive against Spooder on the top lane here. You can see it on your mini-map right now while this play is happening. Ploxy, I thought that would connect. I massively respect the confidence to go for that flash there. They're so close to dead. A couple of inches, and both of the bot lane is dead there for Sejuani, and that would have been very much worth it for Chrisberg and Touch there. But well played by both sides. Both sides, they're absolutely here to win, right? It's coming down to these inches. It's the first game of the day. It's not two of the top 4 teams that we are expecting to see play later today, but my god, this game is already delivering.
Absolutely, and Vanir have come out of the early game with around about a 2,500 gold lead. Nativz have got a Drake, but Vanir have got one themselves, and this is kind of approaching the time where we had the questions about Vanir. How clean can they be? How can they close out when they find themselves in these decent situations? They've already taken top tower, they've already taken mid tower. The next natural assumption is that bottom lane tower is not long for the world, and with the pressure that they're putting in this jungle, I think it's going to be falling very shortly.
I mean, the big worry right now for Vanir has to be Spooder, because you have this Gragas going around the map, sure, but the whole time that's been happening, Jax has been slow pushing, freezing topside. He's caught up. He's actually ahead now on CS, whereas beforehand he was 20-30 CS behind on this Gragas. Once you take top tower there,
Double belly bomb into the triple root. It's a
the
massive
damage.
task. Chrisberg with the first kill. Chrisberg with the second. What a play from Lingui. It nets a double for Vanir.
The game has exploded. We're at the Vanir 17 minutes, but normally in 3 minutes is when the game starts slipping away from him. Spooder might get his first kill. No? Okay, just give it to the Wukong. Why not? I guess. I feel like Spooder needs to be a bit greedy here, you know, and just do the final auto there, mate. Just do it, alright? You need to win the game for your team.
Well, I mean, he absolutely has to, because if Vanir are able to make plays like this, then Nativz could be heading for 0-5. That is definitely not the way they would have wanted to start this split.
Definitely not, but like Lingui was saying, he should be feeling the pressure about Spooder there. Spooder's gradually gonna become more useful, but you know, Lingui immediately, the moment that he sees the potential engage, goes in, gets an insane explosive class that blows the game wide open. Very good play from Lingui, but Jax, he's shifted down to bot side now. He's continuing to get more and more CS. If he stays on parity with Lingui, that is actually good for Jax, because if the game keeps going, and Vanir games generally keep going until they lose, Jax will be the one to cause that this time.
They are once again moving into Nativz jungle. Ploxy has been having such a great game. This Sejuani has been so incredibly active and has been pairing up with various members of the rest of his team to cause problems. And whilst Flawed has had what's looked like a decent game on the Wukong, he's just not been able to have the same impact as his opponent. Hold on, here he comes with the Cyclone trying to change our minds. A shutdown for the Nativz jungler. He heard us talking smack, and he's going to get them a double. Unexpected TPing in, looking for touch. Not quite enough damage on the Victor yet, but Nativz are fighting back.
Right on schedule, Vanir's surefire win becomes a close game that they really don't want right now. The Jax is still alive. The Jax is busy farming the top side. He's got to get the bounce on this and have another good wave again. A lot of people don't know this, but if you have a tower discrepancy like that, the minions just go back into you the whole time. I love this cast from Lingui, but nothing really landed. There's no follow-up onto Remix. Balu didn't get hit by the Sejuani ult, but when Nativz come in, when Flawed comes in, his Cyclone hits everybody, and they're able to take that fight. This game would always come down to the execution, and the execution matters so much that the tiniest mistakes can just lead to the game going completely out of favor for you, no matter how far ahead you were. And if any team should know this, it is Vanir.
I mean, they're still in a strong spot, right? Luca has just completed that mirror mana as they are hunting for what... Crispin got that? That's very cheeky. Crispin just stole the rip-off.
Balu wants it back.
I think he does. I think Flawed might want it as well. As now that the Baron has spawned, I think that those small 2-for-0 fights become very, very impactful, because, I don't know, if you can take like a mid laner and an AD carry off of the opposing team, you can definitely start looking at the Baron, get a bait, look for a pick, and then go back on it again. Vanir, they're trying to apply a little bit of pressure in the top side by summoning that Rift Herald, and Nativz responding by moving towards the Baron pit and trying to clear out vision.
The Jax was supposed to get the Ezreal fed, but instead the Ezreal is buying time for the Jax. Vanir are on the clock, so they have to pull the trigger.
Ults, they are opening up, but Nativz are going to be fine for the time being. This topside jungle has just been Vanir territory, it's felt like, for the last 10 minutes, but the lead that they've got for themselves hasn't grown too much. We are still waiting for that big decisive fight, or that big game-changing fight, rather, that is going to point us in a direction for how these teams are going to be going. Neither is really on track to play towards a Dragon Soul or anything like that, so that Baron becomes all the more impactful.
But Vanir, you have to wonder how much the time pressure that is on Vanir's compositions factors into them trigger pulling like this in less than perfect circumstances. If you burn these cooldowns, they are not up for another entire rotation. You've blown your chance on this reset to do something. And Balu, you know, his first game wasn't very good, right? It was very 50-50, but this game, he's matching them at every corner, and he's keeping Nativz in this game. The bot lane of Ezreal Karma are escorting the Jax to his late game carry stage. Jax has taken a tower. He's taken top. Bot is down. He has two very long lanes with which to play in. And honestly, on the next reset, he's in a position where he can start 1v1ing people. The bot lane for Nativz have shown up so strong in this game in a scenario where we thought they would be the ones getting escorted. So absolutely hats off them, especially to Balu for the matches he's done this game. But Vanir, man, like, yes, you are under pressure, but you can't afford to feel it right now. And you, with the next trigger pulls you do, they have to land.
So they are going to be able to take this Drake. I think Nativz wisely realizing that with Spooder not really there, then contesting is not a great idea. It's going to be the Zhonya's second pick up for the Jax. We have seen some interesting itemization. Was that a clap there? Did you just clap for the Zhonya's?
Oh no, I didn't. Wait, sorry. If there was a sound that did not come from me.
Well, maybe our producer fell off his chair or something. But to sort of touch on that Zhonya's a little bit more, we have seen Jax's go towards stuff that is a little bit weird and wonderful. What is the decision making that goes into picking up an item that's traditionally more for AP mages?
Well, I mean, if you are a champion that you think could benefit from GA, so a champion that likes to dive, that likes to be the focus, anything like this, and you have AP scaling, Zhonya's is honestly better. It's cheaper, the armor stats are higher. Ooh.
Oh, Remix is just dead. That is basically how the Lucian army is meant to work, and Flawed is being pressured away as well. Unexpected with a TP to defend the tower, and great, that's one kill. That is a singular pick, but Spooder is split pushing. He's hunting for these towers, and there is no one that can match him. Vanir have to make a choice now. Do they back? Do they reset? Do they back away? Or do they go for the Baron?
I think you go for the Baron 10 out of 10 times. So even if you lose that bottom lane inhibitor, right, it is perfectly worth it if you're able to get the Baron. But we've seen them in this situation before. Last time Taxa got the steal, he's Flawed gonna go for it.
3k, Nativz are around. Flawed is thinking about it. Touch is dead. Massive Chaos Storm in the pits. And Vanir are forced to back away. They spend so much time on that Baron, and they get nothing for it. Spooder, a secret mission, thinking about causing some chaos. Gets the Stone of Crisp, is able to cleanse it away, and now the Jax is in a 1v3. That stopwatch buys so much time, but it's not enough as Lingui joins the fray and is able to take him out. He can't 1v4 just yet, but Nativz, they stop the Baron attempt and they keep the game going.
However, that stopwatch does allow us to illustrate the major advantage Zhonya's has over the GA if you can benefit from its haste stats, if you can benefit from its AP scalings, which is, it's going to be up. You don't have to sell it now, right? With GA, you have to sell it, go for another item, blah, blah, blah. But with Zhonya's, it's going to be up very soon. So it's a very, very good item. But yeah, Spooder, this could have been it, right? He got the 600 gold bot lane. If he gets one of those 2 kills, he's back in the game in a huge way. Vanir really needed that. When the Baron didn't work and all you really got was Jax getting 600 gold, the game was in a dire state. But Jax offering himself to you on a plate like that, I mean, Vanir are going to take that. Vanir need that.
Hello. Flawed flash in, double knock up with the Cyclone, and a killing spree for the Nativz jungler. Crisper take it off the map for the next 40 seconds, but Vanir still able to fire back. All of these fights have just been a kill there, a couple of kills there, nothing decisive as of yet. Lingui maybe in a rough spot here. Spooder is able to get the stun and deal a fair chunk of damage down onto the Gragas, but he is absolutely fine.
He is, but he's not giving up, is he? He's letting them know that he's powerful.
Oh, he's going for Lingui. Spooder is absolutely not giving up, even though it doesn't look particularly likely that he's going to be able to get a kill out of this scenario. But the general movement, the way that Nativz are stancing now, definitely feels like they are recognizing that the game's lasted long enough that they're coming online. They've got this power. Unexpected, 2 items. Remix, 2 items. Spooder, very, very strong, nearly level 16 on the Jax. Vanir They needed to accelerate with this composition. They are still in the gold lead. It feels like the control of the game is slipping away.
They needed to put the pedal to the metal. You're absolutely right, though. Right, these fights, it's a kill here, it's a kill there, and that benefits Nativz no matter which way the kills go. But every time the execution goes well for them, it's flawed. Coming in with his Cyclone, he lands it, it's always a good kill. That guy right now is looking like another contender for man of the match along with Balu. This jungle support, they've been setting up brilliantly. Vanir think they've caught him, but Flawed knows execution best right now on the map. Right now, I'm looking at those two as potential MVPs and Nativz to close this, but Vanir, they're pressured. They feel the pressure of the time, and so they say it's time for Baron. We need to be able to end the game.
Spooder's on 20% HP! He's been caught out! No! Oh, the Jax, who'd built up so many items, so much control in the side lane, moves towards the team fight and gives it all up. Lingui is still pretty low. There are poke options available for Nativz, but it doesn't look like they are opting to contest. The Baron DPS from Vanir, not particularly high as it stands, and Unexpected is doing some damage with those death laners. Vanir gonna back away. They don't want to risk it, but again, more time for Nativz. At some point, Vanir, they just need to go. They need to make the play. Otherwise, they're gonna get outscaled.
They do, but they have to kill Nativz before they do it. An aspect of the composition we haven't talked about is Ezreal, Karma, Victor. You could not dream of a better poke composition. And where are poke compositions best? At neutral objective contests. You're trying to take out the Drake.
Oh, Lingwei going in. The cast hits absolutely no one. Beautifully dodged away, but Flawed isn't able to get access either. A shutdown onto the monkey. Spooder is rejoining the fight. The health bars on Vanir are low. The ult from Ploxy will allow them to disengage around the Drake. This would be sole point for Vanir if they are able to pick it up. But Remix is still very healthy. He has a lot of damage on the Ezreal. Crispberg is able to get a massive chunk onto him as Ploxy chases, flashes into him in his own jungle. Remix is somehow still alive, but Baloo emphatically isn't. The Ezreal will run. He may even escape, but not for the charge of Ploxy and Crispberg on top of him. There is no way out. 3 kills in the fight for Vanir. We said that they needed to engage. They did it right there.
They've learned, they've taken a breather, they've reassessed the situation. Why can't we get these neutrals? This is because we're against Victor, it's because we're against Ezra, it's because we're against Karma, it's because we're against Poke. And where's Poke best? When we can't move. When you're doing the Drake, when you're doing the Baron, that's when you just land your Poke all over them. So they have to take them out first. And Crispberg, he got the memo. Ploxy, he got the memo. Lingui, maybe he missed, but he got the memo. Look how aggressive they are when Remix goes up and tries to land some unnecessary poke, right? They go straight on him. Ploxy flashes for him. Crispberg flashes for him. They have to get rid of the poke on the enemy team. They did it, and they finally managed to receive a neutral objective in return. Look at that play there. This is all completely correct. You have to get these champions off the map, or you can't accelerate the game. And if you don't accelerate the game, then the game goes very slowly towards a Nativz win. But Vanir, they're fed up of that. They're done with that. They want to finally turn the V into a W.
And they may look for it in the mid lane. There's another engager starting out. Baloo is low. Spooder is low as well. Floor looking for a double knock-up with his own ultimate. The Cyclone finally reaching on to Crispberg. They're able to shut him down. What an engage from Nativz. It's a 2-for-1 in the mid lane, but a shutdown goes on to Unexpected. A shutdown goes on to Remix. And Veteran, this game is flip-flopping back and forth, and it won't stop.
And once again, it's Flawed with the counter-engage there against Vanir. Every time Vanir think they have something, if Flawed sees an angle, he knows how to buy seconds away from his team then. Straight onto Crispberg there, uses the invisibility, uses the flash, gets directly on him, doesn't stop, gets on Luca, gives the rest of his team the breathing room they desperately need off of the Vanir engage, and delays the game a little bit more. For me, it's all about this jungle support right now. Baloo doing a lot of the matches in the early mid-game, Flawed doing the counter-engages. They're the guys keeping the dream alive for Nativz to get that first win.
Tell you what though, Lingui hasn't been shy about engaging either, as touch is very low. Off your screen, Luca just kills Spooder, who's not been having a fun time on the Jacks. 0-5 for himself. So Nativz are retreating towards the Baron, a member down, recognizing that this is what Vanir want to do, but they are going to get poked out to all hell. The Clo is going to tank most of it. So they're thinking about going over the wall. Opts to do it in a bit of a safer situation. Now Vanir look for the push.
It's good to see them set up for lanes this time, though. They are learning, right? Gradually. It took a little bit, but they're learning. They can't just go for the Baron. They can't just contest it. They'll open up the map in other ways, make it easier for them. Less places where the Ezreal is safe, right? If we can get the Ezreal. Wow, that Jace hurts. We can get the Ezreal. If we can get the Victor. Oh, and the lands, he goes for it.
It was a very well-timed arcane shift from Remix there to get out, and I think this is one of the issues that you have with playing the Sejuani, right? It's single target CC that can be dodged away from, and you've got Flawed who's got his clone, you've got Remix who's got these mobility spells as well. This is, you don't want to stand there, you don't want to stand there, buddy. Okay, Cyclone U's going to be knocked back towards Vanir, and that is a Chaos Storm dropped down to deal the damage, and no one falls. Chrisberg incredibly low, touch forced to use the Tidal Wave defensively. And Nativz, they are still pressuring forward. Neither team feels like can get a decisive advantage. Spooder now level 16, thinking about going for a play onto Vanir, who are just trying to hold position around the Baron, but this is where the poke could be so impactful. If Vanir are trying to stand still, Nativz are like fish in a barrel.
Remix,
Well, here
very
comes
low.
Foxy over the wall, Blue's just dead! Wiped out, and Spooder now in the middle of 5 people. That Zhonya's will buy you no time at all. Luca on a killing spree. Now they can move towards the Baron. Flood is still up. Unexpected is still up. Remix is still up. The poke and the steal potential is there. But Vanir have got to go for this.
No flash on Unexpected, and Remix is 2 hits away from death, even with his summoners, and they can see Remix's bot lane. They are completely safe to do this. That fight happened away from Flawed. There was no savior for you this time, and in the absence of savior, it was just death for Nativz.
And this Baron should, hopefully, for the Vanir Sands' sake, a bit more of a decisive advantage than anything that they've been able to put together this game so far. Dragon is spawning in 30 seconds. That'll be sold for Vanir. And if you can get a push going with that Baron augmented by those extra resistances from the Mountain Soul, it's going to be very difficult for Nativz to stop that.
It's such a shame because every time we've seen Nativz play, they've brought out a very new composition that plays against the strengths of their opponents. And here they had answers for everything Vanir wanted to do in their comp. The Victor was heavily disengaging all of Vanir's chances.
Oh, Lingwei! Flash with the body slam onto 2 in the backline, but Vanir aren't able to get any more damage onto him. Spooder is taking very low. Triple bubble knock up, but still no one falling down. It's actually Lingwei who's going to drop first. How the hell are Nativz going through this fight? Remix is in the middle of 4 people and will pay for it with his life, but here comes the re-engaged Spooder looking for the counter strike, but he cannot make it work. A double for Chrisberg, a double for Luca, and I think that's going to be the game veteran.
And, you know, hats off to Nativz. Their composition works intellectually on so many levels, but execution-wise, the Jax was never able to get to the point that he needed to, right? They played completely around the wrong side of the map. They spent too much time trying to play against Vanir's strengths, but Vanir played this game every time, and they play it to win.